All right, guys, here's your Darce choke from off the single leg sprawl here. And you'll also find yourself in this position a lot because, again, sometimes you're sprawling or reaching for the legs or escaping side position and end up in this position. You know, just in any type of scramble, you're going to find yourself in this position with somebody on your leg. You got to know how not only to defend, but to amount of offense that'll finish your fight. So he's in on my leg. First thing I want to do is I want to whizzer, which means I'm going to come over top of his arm that's on my leg. I'm just going to grab mine here. Secondly, I want to make sure I base out strong on his foot. Now he's got his head here. I'm going to go ahead and fire away. Start punching the side of his head, right in his ear. Now, this is going to cause him, he can either sit here like a fool, or he can tuck his head like he's smart because he doesn't want to get hit. So I'm going to keep pounding away, pounding away. He tucks his head. I'm going to shoot my arm through, right to the back of his shoulder. Then I'm going to reach up, grab my bicep, put it on his back. Now from here, I'm going to put my chest down and just kick my leg back. And sprawl. Now, squeeze my elbows together and drive my chest right into his head. Fast motion. All right, now we're going to do a Kimura from a single leg takedown defense. I'm going to start in my position. We're fighting him here. I throw a jab or I throw some punches. He comes in, he shoots in on me. He puts his head outside. First thing I want to do is I want to get my hips under me and get my base. So I base out. Now that he has no chance of taking me down here, I'm going to come over his shoulder and I'm going to Kimura his arm. And from here, right at the hands, he's got his hands gripped here. As I straighten his leg, I break his hands. I can just kind of straighten and break his hands. Now I'm going to step up here and sit down. And catch his leg as I sit down. I'm going to triangle his leg, catch it as I sit down. Now from here, push his arm up. Let's do it full speed. All right, let's talk about another defense for the single leg. This is a neck crank. This time this guy shoots in and he puts his head on the inside. All right, I'm going to throw some punches. He comes inside, tries to take me down with a single leg, puts his head inside here. First thing I got to do is make sure my hips are under me, establish my base, have a good base. I'm going to push his head away just a little bit. Just because as long as he's too tight, you know, he has an advantage. So I'm going to get his head away. Now that his head's away, I'm going to take my arm, come inside his neck here. Pushing his head here. Now I'm going to gable grip my arms and squeeze. I'm going to pull my wrist up as I push this elbow down. Let's do it in full speed. All right, let's do a standing rear naked choke starting from the clinch position. I'm starting in the clinch here. What I want to do is, he has a high underhook here. I can't work with it. So I need to get him to bring it down. The best way to get him to bring it down is I'll trick him into doing it. I'm going to keep kneeing him with this leg here. In order for him to stop them knees coming, he's going to have to block my hip. Now I can't knee him. So what I'm going to do when his hand is here, I'm going to slide my hand down right to his wrist here. I'm going to swim my hand through to the back of his arm, push it off, and I'm going to arm drag him across. This is going to give me a good angle. I'm going to step in. This arm's going to come right around his neck, and I'm going to jump all the way onto his back and finish the choke. Let's do it in full speed. Alright guys, this submission here is very dangerous, so when you're practicing it on your partner, be very careful because you can actually break the wrist before you get a chance to even get the tap on this. And this also serves as a throw. Let me give you the details of this. Alright, I'm in a body lock here, and I'm working on trying to take him down up against the fence or wherever we're at. I'm in a body lock here. He's whizzing hard, got a hard overhook. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to grab his hand right on top of the back of the glove. And this works because of the meat of the glove. So I'm grabbing nice and tight here. Now I'm going to take my other hand, I'm going to swim it out and grab right on top of my hand. Now I'm going to put the side of his hand right against my ribs. And I'm going to lock it down with my elbow. Now I'm going to step inside. If I want to get the throw, trap here. And I'm going to thrust my hips forward as I pinch this back and rotate this way. And if you don't go, if you're not careful and you go too fast, you'll break his wrist before you get a chance to tap. I'm going to do it in semi-fast speed, not in full fast speed because I don't want to break his arm. Alright, nice little flying type submission here. I'm going to start from an over and under position. Now, I'm starting from this position. It's a very common position. Now, for me, it's all about the footwork and getting this submission. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start just kneeing him in the legs, kneeing him in the body. And the reason why I want to do that is because that's going to distract him so that I can get my feet in the right position. So I'm kneeing him here, kneeing him here. Now, as I'm kneeing him, I'm going to change my feet so now that we have the same side legs next to each other. Now, I still have this overhook here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot my leg up and over and put it behind his far leg. So it goes over his front leg, under his back leg. Now, my other leg will I'm going to jump up. My other leg's going to come behind his knee. Now, I'm sorry guys, I can't do this slow. I have to move right into it because I have to jump into it. So I'm going to start here. I have same side leg forward. It's over, under. Other leg jumps right into it here. Puts me in a good position. I'm tight on his legs. Pinch down on the top of his toes. Watch his body jump. It's like clear. Exactly. Then I come through and finish. Watching full speed. Alright, now I'm going to show you how the best way to get a guillotine from the standing position. Alright, I'm starting with an over and under position here. I'm just going to start kneeing. I like to knee to the legs here just to soften them up. knee into the legs. Then I'm going to start kneeing to the stomach here. Keep him soft. Now what I'm going to do, watch my arm. I'm going to spin my arm around to come on this side of his face. So I'm just going to be here. He's grabbing it, but I'm going to spin it around to come on this side of his face here. If you guys can see, I got this part of my arm right on the side of his neck. Now from here, I'm going to knee him to the stomach, then wrap around his head. Now, I'm going to take my other arm, come inside, I'm going to grab, I'm going to jump up, and finish the guillotine. Now in full speed. All right, nice little rolling heel hook. Coming from here, I'm in a clinch position. I'm gonna just play the game. I'm here, I'm kneeing, I'm punching. Now what I wanna do is, while I'm doing all this, I wanna push, and I wanna get him to push back. So I'm pushing as I'm doing all this stuff here. I'm pushing. Now as he pushes back, I'm gonna turn my body. I'm gonna turn my body and step in front of him. So it's all one motion. He's pushing back, turn, and step in front of him. Now, I'm going to be really tight on this overhook because this is what's going to allow me to get the roll and get him to go forward. Now, as I roll, I'm going to kick him up into the air and reach for his leg. So I'm going to roll, kick him in the air, reach for his leg. Now that I have his leg, let me scoot over just a little bit so you guys can see the intricate details here. I have his leg. I'm going to cinch down here, lock here, and close in. This one on top so he can't roll over. This one in deep gives me the pressure. Now, put pressure on his toes, he sits up, and I get the heel hook. Let's do it in full speed.